Welcome. Stop ruining your ears without even knowing it. The number one ear cleaning mistake almost everyone makes is secretly causing hearing loss, infections, and pain. Wax isn't dirt. It's your body's natural defense. Learn the shocking truth and how doing almost nothing could actually save your ears. Most people believe they are taking care of their health when they clean their ears. It feels responsible. It feels hygienic. You step out of the shower, you grab a cotton swab, and you gently insert it into your ear canal, thinking you're removing wax and preventing problems. But what if I told you that the number one mistake people make when cleaning their ears is the very act of putting anything inside them? This single habit, repeated day after day, is causing more harm than good. And the reason is simple. Your ears were designed to clean themselves. Earwax, also known as cerumen, is not dirt. It is not a sign of poor hygiene. It is not a sign of poor hygiene. It is not something your body accidentally produces. It is protective. It traps dust, debris, bacteria, and foreign particles before they can travel deeper into the ear canal. It moisturizes the skin inside the ear so it doesn't become dry and cracked. It even has antibacterial properties. In other words, that wax you're trying to remove is actually part of your body's defense system. When you insert a cotton swab, hairpin tissue, or any object into the ear canal, you are not truly cleaning it. What you are often doing is pushing the wax deeper inside. Instead of removing it, you are compacting it against the eardrum. Over time, this can create a blockage known as impacted earwax. That blockage can lead to muffled hearing, ringing in the ears, dizziness, discomfort, and even pain. Think about it. The ear canal is a narrow, delicate passageway. The skin inside is extremely sensitive. The eardrum at the end is thin and fragile. It was never meant to be touched or scraped. Every time you insert something into that space, you risk irritation, inflammation, and even injury. And yet millions of people continue doing it daily because it feels satisfying. There's a psychological component to this habit. You feel like you're accomplishing something, you feel clean, but true health is not about what feels satisfying in the moment. It's about respecting how the body naturally functions. The ear has a remarkable self-cleaning mechanism. The skin inside the ear canal grows outward, slowly carrying wax and debris toward the opening of the ear. Jaw movements from talking and chewing also help move wax outward. Eventually, it dries and flakes off naturally. Most people don't need to do anything at all. The real problem begins when we interfere with this natural process. When wax is pushed deeper, it becomes compacted. When it becomes compacted, it hardens. When it hardens, it becomes difficult to remove without professional assistance. This is when people start experiencing symptoms and panic sets in. They think something is wrong with their hearing. They worry about infection. All because of a habit they believed was healthy. In more severe cases, inserting objects into the ear can scratch the delicate lining of the canal. These tiny abrasions can become entry points for bacteria, leading to painful infections. Swimmer's ear inflammation, redness, swelling, these are not rare outcomes. They are common consequences of mechanical irritation. Even worse, there is the risk of perforating the eardrum. It doesn't take much force. A sudden movement, a slip of the hand, or a child bumping into you at the wrong moment can cause real damage. A perforated eardrum can lead to hearing loss, intense pain, and weeks of recovery. So what should you do instead? First, understand that if you are not experiencing symptoms, you likely do not need to clean inside your ears at all. Let your body do its job. If you see wax at the outer opening, you can gently wipe it away with a warm, damp cloth. Stay on the outside. Never go inside the canal. If you feel fullness, muffled hearing, or suspect wax buildup, safer options exist. Over-the-counter ear drops designed to soften wax can help the body naturally expel it. Warm water irrigation kits, when used correctly and gently, may assist in removal, but even then, caution is essential. If symptoms persist, seeing a healthcare professional is the safest path. The deeper lesson here goes beyond ears. It's about understanding that the body is intelligent. It has built-in systems for balance, protection, and healing. When we constantly interfere without knowledge, we create problems that were never there. We live in a world that encourages overcleaning and overfixing. We're told that everything must be scrubbed, polished, and sanitized. But sometimes less is more. Sometimes the best action is restraint. Imagine how many people could avoid discomfort, infection, and hearing issues simply by breaking this one habit, by choosing awareness over routine, by replacing assumption with understanding. Health is not about doing more. It's about doing what's appropriate. It's about knowing when to step back and allow the body to function as it was designed. Your ears are delicate instruments. They allow you to hear music, conversation, laughter, and the subtle sounds of life. They deserve respect. They deserve protection. And that protection begins with something very simple. Stop putting objects inside them. When you shift your mindset from "I need to clean this" to "my body knows how to maintain this," You move from fear-based care to informed care. You move from habit to wisdom. The number one mistake people make when cleaning their ears is not ignorance, it's assumption. The assumption that wax is bad, the assumption that intervention is necessary, the assumption that if something exists, it must be removed. But the truth is powerful and freeing. Your ears are self-regulating, they are self-protecting, they are self-maintaining. Respect that design. Make small, intelligent choices. Protect your hearing. Avoid unnecessary risk. Trust your body's natural processes, and let this be a reminder that sometimes the most powerful health decision you can make is the decision to stop doing something that never needed to be done in the first place. Most people have never stopped to consider that their ears are more than just organs for hearing. They are carefully designed systems with their own natural defenses and cleaning mechanisms. We often assume that if we see wax, it must be removed, that if it exists, it is a problem. This is a fundamental misunderstanding. Earwax, or cerumen, is not dirt or a flaw in the body. It is a vital substance that serves multiple protective and functional purposes. The first keynote of the speech emphasized the remarkable self-cleaning ability of the ears, and understand this is the key to avoiding unnecessary harm. Earwax is a natural lubricant. The skin inside the ear canal is delicate and prone to drying out. Without the protective layer of wax, the skin can crack, flake, and become irritated, creating potential entry points for bacteria and infections. This lubrication ensures that the ear canal remains healthy, resilient, and resistant to minor trauma. It is a subtle but essential function, something the body maintains quietly without conscious effort. Most of the time we interfere with this system thinking we are improving it, when in fact we risk disrupting a balance that has been perfected by nature over millennia. The ear self-cleaning process is fascinating. The skin of the ear canal grows outward from the eardrum toward the opening of the ear. This movement carries wax, along with any trapped debris, naturally to the outer ear where it can flake off or be washed away during normal bathing. Jaw movements, such as chewing and talking, help facilitate this process. Every time you speak, chew, or even move your head, the wax is slowly transported outward. It's a continuous, low-effort cleaning mechanism that requires no swabs, no tools, no interference. The body has designed this process to be automatic, efficient, and safe. The composition of earwax is also part of this intelligent design. It contains fatty acids, alcohols, and other compounds that help repel bacteria and fungi, creating a natural barrier against infection. This is why, despite being warm and humid inside the ear canal, a perfect environment for bacteria, the rate of natural infection is surprisingly low in healthy individuals. The earwax traps dust, dirt, and other small particles that enter the canal, preventing them from reaching deeper structures. Essentially, it acts as a filter, a first line of defense that keeps the ear safe while allowing sound to pass through unhindered. Despite this, people often assume that their ears are dirty or unclean if they see wax. Society has conditioned us to equate cleanliness with the absence of visible substances. Commercial advertising reinforces this idea by promoting swab sprays and drops promising that a clean ear is a healthy ear, but this belief is misguided. Wax is normal, wax is protective, wax is necessary. In fact, interfering with wax can create more problems than it solves, a point emphasized throughout the speech. The idea that earwax is harmful is reinforced by discomfort or mild blockages, which are often temporary and naturally resolved by the body's own processes. A small amount of wax is completely normal, and most people never need to remove it. By resisting the urge to interfere, we respect the natural intelligence of the body. We allow the ear to maintain its protective barrier, lubricate its skin, and filter out debris in its own time. Trusting the body's design in this way is a form of wisdom that extends beyond ear health into broader aspects of self-care and bodily respect. Many people are surprised to learn that in most cases, seeing wax in the outer ear does not indicate a health problem. It is a natural byproduct of a system functioning correctly. Cleaning the visible wax with a cloth on the outside is safe, but anything inserted into the canal can disrupt the delicate balance. Understanding the purpose of earwax changes the perspective entirely. What once seemed like a problem is actually a solution. Wax is not a failure, it is a sign of proper function. This awareness is crucial because it reframes the way we think about our health. The first keynote stresses that we do not need to fix everything that appears unusual. Sometimes the most effective action is restraint. By stepping back and observing how the ear naturally maintains itself, we gain insight into a principle that applies to many areas of life. The body is intelligent, capable, and self-regulating. When we interfere unnecessarily, we create problems that did not exist. And when we trust its design, we prevent harm and foster wellness. Furthermore, the ear's self-cleaning ability demonstrates the importance of subtle, continuous processes that operate in the background of our bodies. We do not consciously lubricate our ear canals. We do not manually push wax outward, and we do not disinfect the seat. Anal, yet this system works seamlessly day after day, protecting us from foreign particles and infection while ensuring that hearing remains optimal. This level of efficiency is a testament to the body's capability when allowed to function without interference. Appreciating this process encourages a mindset shift from one of control and over-intervention to one of observation and respect. Instead of immediately reacting to the presence of wax, we can understand its purpose, recognize its protective function, and act only when necessary. Most importantly, we replace fear and assumption with knowledge. The fear that wax is dirty or harmful is unfounded, and it drives behavior that is counterproductive. Education about the ear's self-cleaning mechanism reduces unnecessary procedures, protects hearing, and fosters long-term wellness. The body's intelligence extends far beyond the ears, but the ears serve as a simple, clear example. They show that what may appear inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unattractive can actually be essential. Wax is not an enemy, it is a guardian. By embracing this understanding, individuals gain the confidence to stop interfering, to trust the natural processes of their bodies, and to recognize that health is often about restraint rather than constant action. In essence, the first keynote teaches that the ears, when left alone, are perfectly capable of maintaining themselves. Their self-cleaning ability, lubrication, protective wax, and filtering function all work together in harmony. Human intervention, no matter how well-intentioned, often disrupts this balance. Respecting the ear's natural intelligence is an act of wisdom, a recognition that the body knows what it is doing, and that our role is often to observe and support rather than to act impulsively. Understanding and internalizing this idea is transformative. It encourages patience, awareness, and respect for natural processes. It teaches that sometimes the best care is no interference at all, that sometimes less is more, and that trusting the body's design is the most effective path to true, lasting health. It is this insight, the realization of the ear's remarkable self-cleaning ability, that forms the foundation of the first keynote. Most people believe that when they clean their ears, they are doing something beneficial. They imagine that a cotton swab, a hairpin, or any small tool is helping them remove wax and prevent problems. But in reality, inserting objects into the ear canal is one of the most common ways to cause harm. This second keynote emphasized that the very act of putting something inside the ear is far more dangerous than leaving it alone, and understanding this is crucial to preserving hearing health and avoiding pain, infections, and long-term damage. The ear canal is a delicate passageway lined with soft, sensitive skin. Unlike the skin on our hands or arms, the skin inside the ear is extremely thin and fragile. Every time we push a swab inside, we risk scraping or irritating this tissue. Even minor abrasions can be painful and create entry points for bacteria. These tiny injuries are often invisible and go unnoticed, but they compromise the ear's natural defense system, leaving it vulnerable to infections such as otitis externa, commonly known as swimmer's ear. Swelling, redness, discharge, and pain are common outcomes when bacteria invade through these microabrasions. Beyond surface damage, inserting objects into the ear often pushes wax deeper rather than removing it. Wax is naturally designed to migrate outward, but when it is forced further down, it can become compacted against the eardrum. This compaction creates blockages that interfere with normal hearing. People may experience muffled sounds, a feeling of fullness, or even dizziness. They may panic and attempt to remove the blockage themselves using more swabs or tools, which worsens the situation. Over time, this can lead to chronic ear problems that require professional intervention. What began as a simple habit of cleaning the ears has now evolved into a cycle of repeated trauma and frustration. The risk is not only to the wax, but also to the eardrum itself. The eardrum is an incredibly thin membrane, less than a millimeter thick, that vibrates in response to sound waves. It is essential for hearing and for maintaining balance. A slip of the hand while inserting a cotton swab, a sudden movement, or an accidental bump can perforate this delicate structure. A perforated eardrum causes immediate sharp pain, potential fluid discharge, and sometimes temporary or permanent hearing loss. Even when it heals, there is a risk of scarring or decreased sensitivity, which can affect hearing clarity permanently. Another issue arises from repeated irritation. Every time we insert an object into the ear, the canal skin becomes inflamed. Inflamed skin produces more wax as a protective response. This, in turn, creates the appearance of increased wax accumulation, encouraging people to clean more aggressively. This feedback loop, where intervention stimulates the problem you were trying to fix, is a major reason why ear cleaning habits can spiral out of control. Instead of solving an issue, people inadvertently create it. Many are unaware of the psychological component of this habit. Cleaning the ears with a swab gives immediate gratification. There is a sense of accomplishment, a feeling of cleanliness, and a temporary relief when wax is removed. This reinforces the behavior, even though it is harmful. The satisfaction of seeing the wax come out makes people repeat the action daily or even multiple times a day. What feels beneficial in the moment is, in fact, a source of long-term harm. In addition to wax impaction and physical trauma, introducing objects into the ear can disturb the natural microbial environment. The ear canal has a delicate balance of bacteria and other microorganisms that help protect against infection. Scraping, poking, or inserting foreign objects can disrupt this balance, increasing susceptibility to bacterial or fungal infections. These infections can be painful, persistent, and sometimes require antibiotics or professional cleaning to resolve. Prevention is far safer than intervention. Even seemingly safe alternatives, like cotton swabs, can be dangerous when misused. Most people think gentle insertion is harmless, but the canal is narrow and depth perception is difficult. A small slip can push wax deeper than intended. Hairpins, keys, and other improvised tools are even more dangerous, increasing the likelihood of perforation or severe abrasions. The risk is compounded in children, who are more prone to sudden movements and lack the patience to remain still. The second keynote also highlights the cumulative effect of repeated ear trauma. A single incident may not cause lasting damage, but repeated interference over weeks, months, and years can have serious consequences. Chronic inflammation, persistent wax impaction, scar tissue, recurring infections, and even long-term hearing impairment are all possible outcomes of habitual insertion. The habit may start innocently, motivated by hygiene, but it grows into a significant health risk over time. Education and awareness are the most powerful tools to prevent harm. Understanding that wax is protective, that the ear canal is delicate, and that the eardrum is extremely fragile changes behavior immediately. The moment someone realizes that inserting objects causes more harm than good, the compulsion to clean diminishes. The BOD. Wise self-cleaning mechanisms, when respected, eliminate the need for intervention. People begin to accept that less is more, that restraint is a form of care, and that unnecessary action can be more dangerous than inaction. Instead of inserting anything into the ear, alternative strategies exist that are safe and effective. For visible wax at the outer ear, a soft cloth or tissue can be used to gently wipe it away. Over-the-counter ear drops designed to soften wax can help the body naturally expel it. Warm water irrigation, when done carefully, can also assist. Most importantly, seeking professional care when symptoms arise is the safest approach. A trained specialist can remove wax safely, evaluate for infections, and ensure that the delicate structures inside the ear remain unharmed. This keynote serves as a powerful reminder that intervention should be informed, deliberate, and minimal. The urge to act without understanding can cause more problems than it solves. The ear's anatomy, combined with the protective properties of wax, highlights how easily damage can occur. By avoiding insertion, respecting natural processes, and using safe alternatives when necessary, we prevent harm, protect hearing, and maintain long-term ear health. The lesson is clear. The convenience and satisfaction of inserting objects into the ear come at too high a cost. Blockages, infections, irritation, perforation, and cumulative damage are preventable consequences. True care involves understanding the delicate structures we are entrusted with, recognizing the natural intelligence of our bodies, and choosing restraint over unnecessary action. Habits that seem beneficial can be deceptive, and the second keynote emphasized the critical importance of avoiding the number one mistake people make when cleaning their ears: interfering with the canal using foreign objects. True health is not measured by constant activity or intervention, but by the choices we make to respect the natural intelligence of our bodies. The third keynote emphasized that the key to long-term well-being is understanding when to step back and allow the body to function as it was designed, rather than constantly attempting to control or fix what may not need fixing. In the context of ear care, this principle is clear. Over-interfering with the natural processes of the ear canal can create problems that never existed, while restraint and awareness support optimal health. Our bodies are equipped with intricate systems that operate continuously without our conscious input. The ears, for example, are self-cleaning. Wax is naturally transported outward, the skin is lubricated, and harmful particles are trapped before they reach delicate structures. Yet many people ignore this intelligence, believing that hygiene or health requires intervention. This mindset reflects a broader tendency in society, the belief that more action equals better results. In reality, over-intervention often disrupts balance, leading to complications rather than solutions. Understanding this is the foundation of respecting the body's natural intelligence. The concept of natural intelligence extends far beyond earwax. The body continuously repairs tissue, regulates temperature, fights infections, and maintains equilibrium. Every organ and system has built-in mechanisms to protect itself and ensure optimal function. When we attempt to override these processes unnecessarily, we risk disrupting them. In the case of the ear, inserting objects into the canal interferes with the delicate balance, causing wax compaction, irritation, and potential damage to the eardrum. These consequences are not the result of negligence. They are the result of misunderstanding and unnecessary intervention. True health is a combination of knowledge and restraint. Knowledge allows us to understand what the body can do on its own and what requires assistance. Restraint allows us to avoid impulsive actions that may be harmful. In ear care, this means recognizing that wax is protective, that the canal is sensitive, and that the eardrum is fragile. It means understanding that cleaning is not always necessary, that discomfort is often temporary, and that professional care should be sought only when symptoms indicate a genuine problem. By exercising both knowledge and restraint, we prevent harm and foster long-term wellness. This principle also applies to our mental and emotional health. Just as we may feel compelled to interfere with our ears, we often feel compelled to micromanage every aspect of our lives, relationships, and bodies. We overthink, overplan, and overcorrect. While action is sometimes necessary, wisdom lies in understanding when to allow natural processes to unfold. The body, like life itself, has rhythms and patterns that function best when respected rather than forced. This awareness fosters patience, reduces anxiety, and allows the natural flow of recovery, healing, and adaptation to occur. The ear serves as a simple yet powerful metaphor for this broader principle. Every time someone chooses to step back and resist the urge to insert a cotton swab, they are practicing a form of intelligent care. They are acknowledging that their body knows what it is doing and that intervention is not always beneficial. This choice reflects a mindset shift from fear and compulsion to understanding and trust. It demonstrates that real health decisions are not always visible or dramatic. They are often quiet, subtle, and preventative. Choosing restraint also strengthens long-term resilience. Choosing restraint also strengthens long-term resilience. By avoiding unnecessary interference, we reduce the likelihood of injuries, infections, and chronic problems. We allow natural systems to operate efficiently and without disruption. This not only applies to ears, but to all aspects of physical health. Overuse of medications, unnecessary procedures, excessive cleaning, or aggressive exercise without proper recovery can all create problems that careful, informed restraint could prevent. The principle is consistent. Respecting natural intelligence produces sustainable health. Trusting the body's design requires a shift in perspective. We are conditioned to believe that action is always necessary, that visible intervention signifies care. Yet, the ear demonstrates that sometimes the absence of action is the most effective choice. Wax is protective. The canal cleans itself. The eardrum is shielded. Stepping back allows these systems to function optimally, demonstrating that health is often about allowing rather than doing. This mindset empowers individuals to make decisions based on understanding rather than impulse, creating a stronger, healthier relationship with their own bodies. Education and awareness are essential for this kind of intelligent care. Understanding how the body functions naturally allows us to make informed choices. In ear health, this knowledge prevents common mistakes, reduces the risk of complications, and promotes long-term auditory well-being. When we combine understanding with restraint, we act in harmony with the body rather than against it. This approach reduces unnecessary interventions, avoids preventable injuries, and fosters a sense of confidence in our own ability to care for ourselves. Respecting natural intelligence also nurtures mindfulness and presence. When we stop reacting impulsively, we become more observant of subtle cues from our bodies. We notice changes in hearing, comfort, and overall health without panicking or rushing to intervene unnecessarily. This awareness allows for timely, appropriate action when genuinely needed, rather than habitual, harmful behavior. In essence, it transforms care from a reactive process to a thoughtful, conscious practice. Ultimately, the third keynote is a call to trust and honor the intelligence of the body. It emphasizes that over-interference, however well-intentioned, can create problems where none existed. By exercising restraint, we protect delicate structures, preserve natural processes, and foster long-term wellness. This principle applies not only to ear health, but to every aspect of life, reminding us that sometimes the most powerful action is choosing not to act, and that true care often begins with understanding and respect for the systems that already work perfectly on their own. The journey through understanding ear care teaches a lesson far bigger than just hygiene. It reveals a universal truth. The body is intelligent, designed with protective mechanisms that often surpass our understanding. Wax is not a flaw, it is a guardian. The delicate ear canal and eardrum are meant to function without constant interference, and every time we step back and trust this natural design, we prevent harm, preserve health, and honor the wisdom built into our very being. The number one mistake people make is driven by habit, assumption, and fear, yet the solution is remarkably simple. Observe, respect, and intervene only when absolutely necessary. By embracing this awareness, we cultivate patience, wisdom, and a deeper connection to our own bodies, recognizing that sometimes the most powerful act of care is restraint. Health is not about doing more, it is about doing what is truly necessary. Let this understanding guide you, not just in caring for your ears, but in approaching every aspect of your well-being with respect to awareness and thoughtful restraint.